Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm happy to be here live with you. Yeah. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. I'm a little new to this, but I'm happy to be guiding us through a journey today. Alchemical Endocrine, a guided spiritual journey. Yeah, for coherence, strength, and healing. So let me know again if you can hear me in the chat. I'm not sure if I am live, and I will wait to move on if okay. It sounds like we're live. Let me know where you're from. Say hello in the chat. That also really helps. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rondell. Yeah. And thanks, LMN77. Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm just seeing who's around. Let me know where you're from. Reno, Nevada, Iowa. Hello. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm making a little departure today, doing something live, and I'm just loving that because I get to interact with all of you in a much more intimate way. So, oh, from France, hello, in Arkansas, Terry, hello. Lil, hello, great to see you. Oh, Valdine, Indigo nerd, awesome. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Darla Holmes, hello. Yeah, Australia, there's Matthew. Wow, so many people are here. I love that. Thanks for coming, whether you're in your morning, your evening, somewhere in between over here. It's just after 4 o'clock in Alaska. And we are in a very cold zone. I saw the temperature tonight as registering at -37 Fahrenheit. This is getting to be where the Celsius and Fahrenheit scales merge together. Nancy, hello. Marla, hello. Northern Cal. Yeah. Oh, and I will keep looking at the chat. Kentucky, hello. I'm glad you're all here. This is super exciting. I think in the past I was so technologically like paralyzed to go live. So this is like thumbs up for me because I'm getting this dialed and I had a little help on my end. So let's dive into this. Today we'll be here probably about an hour. I don't think we'll go in beyond that. So on the 11/11, I've been leading these guided journeys and group webinars, group classes, one of a kind sessions that are designed for you as a group. And the last one I did was the 11/11, and I did that on Zoom. And it was such a beautiful journey we had and quite a success. So I'm going to be doing another private, in other words, not quite on YouTube, but on Zoom. Webinar and guided journey. It's called Heartlight. It is on the winter solstice, 12/21, which is a Sunday. So you guys in Europe, it'll be at noon my time. That's 9 o'clock in Europe. You can still join if you like. So that's coming up. And if you enjoy what's going on today, you might also really enjoy it. It's double time with me. It's almost 2 hours live with me for only $44. So you can join us there on the solstice. And this is, again, a small taste of that. North Carolina, hello. Oh, I'm just looking at everybody pouring in. I'm just loving that. Thanks for coming. Um, and so those webinars are deep and transformative, and this may be also touching that octave as well today, even though we don't have quite as much time. And it's not, I can't see you. I'll be able to see you on the Zoom on 12/21. So and with those sessions that I've been doing, I start with a guided landing meditation so we can arrive as we are with all of our parts welcome, and then move into teaching topics and discussion. And then we go into a deep dive into the journey after that. So just a little bit of an outline of how those sessions work. So again, join me on the 21st for that. Now today, mm, what is, if you watch, let me know if you watched my last video, the number 21, the 21st video in the Bringing Light to the Dark series. Um, I talked about the endocrine system and brought you guys all back into a bit of, what we're diving into today is some healing for our whole system. The endocrine system, from what I see psychically, is very connected to the cosmos. So, and I spoke in my last video, my mother saw an ET. I spoke a lot about the Greys, and one of the things that they were deeply interested in was the human endocrine system, right? And I saw this in my own experiences at Dulce and observed what they were after. And in the video, Bringing Light to the Darkness, of which I'm referencing, I spoke to the importance of tending our own endocrine system, because if off-world beings want that, want access to the endocrine system and the secretions from the glandular system. We know it's a valuable commodity. We often speak of, in the greater galaxy, what is the currency of exchange? Often it's called as DNA and technology. I would add to that the soul and other aspects of our the esoteric aspects of our human system, our energy systems, the endocrine system being part of that. A lot there. So yeah, I would say the high octane of the human endocrine system is what we're kind of the high octane relevance is kind of where we're headed today. So, and if you're saying, what is the endocrine system? What is that even? What is she talking about? It's our human, we could say in simple terms, it's our human hormone system, but it's speaking with the cosmos. It's relevant and this complex web of connection that is, in our human body, connected to sleep, to mood, the immune system, metabolism, stress response, and sexuality, longevity, and also multidimensional spiritual union. Yeah, I'm just getting distracted by the chat, but not in a bad way. Texas and Denver, welcome. Hello, everybody. Lori, Olga. Yeah, beautiful to see you all. Um, yeah. And I spoke in the video, and I'll just repeat it here, that we know from the Eastern traditions, China and India, for example, India with bija mantras and seed syllables connected to our chakra system, which is then in turn connected to the endocrine system and the glandular system, right? So we'll do a deep dive into integrating more of that for ourselves. You've probably heard me say on more than one occasion that the spiritual war on this planet has been fought in part through the food, air, and water. So that affects the endocrine system profoundly. So it's our gift to be able to come back into ourselves and work with light, energy, vibration, frequency, healing. Um, and really take back our power throughout the human body and throughout our and whole energetic system. It's all entwined, right? It's all entwined. That beautiful spiral of DNA relevant to spiritual ascension and also just being here in this body on earth, which we know is difficult right now. Yeah, there's a lot there. So, I mean, and I'm curious too, this is, asking you guys to be a little bit vulnerable, but have you had challenges in your thyroid, for example? I had that for a little while. It's been cleared up. And reproductive system or adrenals or digestive system, pancreas. The adrenals for us as humans now take a huge hit because we are all living with unprecedented amounts of stress and kind of this fast pace of life, not to mention, all of the things, the EMF and the things that go on that we've never really been exposed to in this magnitude and this measure before, right? So I'm really wanting to bring something through that again brings more coherence and strength to our systems in that way. Yeah. Um, Nanobobs. Yes. Oh, yes, Nancy. India is an amazing place. Their history is deep. And I had the pleasure of traveling there about 5 years ago. It was remarkable. I agree. Thyroid, lots of thyroid issues. So many people have thyroid issues. So I'm feeling for you there. And so when our system becomes more integrated and uncompromised, like we are able to metabolize all of our human experiences in a much more depthly and with much more integrity. So when there's this constant like degradation of our, again, that complex web of hormones, just in our case today with the endocrine system, of course we're more challenged to make meaning of our experience and to integrate what we've been given on our spiritual path. So that makes a little bit of sense. I really believe, and especially, and I mentioned this in the video, moving through perimenopause and my own hormone flux is like, oh yeah, I get what goes on when this is off, because everything starts to slide, and that has really been hastened by the assault on our energetics, on biology through all the various means we're speaking of. Yeah, but I believe that we are beings of subtle energy, that the endocrine system connects to the chakra system, connects to our subtle communication that's always going on energetically with the cosmos. We are these high vibrating tuning forks constantly in call and response with the universe. So there's something beautiful in that, and also compelling. And I hope that maybe gives a little alternate perspective to the human organism and how it's wed with the spiritual planes. Yeah. Um, I'm just reading on there through all of the chat. Yes, adrenal, thyroid, and a brain tumor. That's a big deal. And so too, we often speak in the pineal as the gateway into the cosmos and our highest higher psychic ability and our intuition, and that's true. But it's all of the organs, all by organs I mean the glands in our system. We'll dive deep into this experientially in just a moment. Are equally as potent and profound. Yeah. Does that make sense to anyone out there, what I'm saying? I would love to hear your feedback on that. So, and thank you for those of you who I've gotten notes that people see and sense me coming in sometimes at night to help them heal. And I love that there's a part of me that's working, from a higher self vantage point or my galactic aspect. We could also say to tend those in need and to um, give care in a I would say a quantum way. So we all, in our way, we have capacity to be, we are multidimensional beings. So we have the ability to transcend space and time and to do this good work across the quantum field. And we're all capable of that. Um, so uh, today, wherever you are, many places through the US, I'm up in Alaska, and people farther afield, welcome. And I'm just going to invite you to be comfortable. Yeah, in your posture. And that for some of you will be lying down, whatever feels good to you in this moment. Yeah, just find your posture, find your posture that feels good and welcoming in you into a safe container today to explore what's being given and what's coming through. And it's always kind of somewhat predicated on, the journeys are very much predicated on who's showing up now in this, what we call the present, and also who will be coming in the future to listen to this after the live stream is complete. So, welcoming you all. And just have a breath with whatever this day or this evening for you has held in your human experience. Yeah. Lani klani korone lani kimi kurumlane klani kimi kush makaralane kari itanoli amako kelano meloni apalo tiashani kiranoni lani. Many of you will be familiar with my light language. It's me speaking from a higher octave of experience. I would also say it's a very galactic in nature and allows me to gather information from the field. Yeah, that speaks to your heart, your higher self, and your own energetics. So have some breath into the body, into your soma in its totality, wherever you are, however you are, you're welcome to be here. And all of us in a group, I want to say when we do this in the group webinars in here today, that there's something potent when we gather to do this in communion with one another. It amplifies something exponentially that is even more potent than what we can do alone. Yeah. Glanakori ankiwia tolema kuyumos, makarboniato makokimi, granoni. And just notice any areas of tension in your body. Anything that might be tight or tired that needs to be enfolded in our time together. It just wants to be seen and known, maybe like a little vulnerable part or a child that is coming in to be tended in the circle of our light. So, if you have a specific health malady, yeah, we can welcome it as its own energy into the session and allow it to also receive our care, our tenderness, our light, and our co creative powers together. With some of these things that you're noticing, if you have any long-standing kind of chronic unwellness, that can be tended here, befriended here, and more healing can happen. Golo-imi, grano, kamakajimiko, kemakaloni, amaronia, mashimikibi, kolonia, tushe, And I'll invite you to, if you like, place a hand on your belly, on your heart. Just if that feels good to you, something to explore. It's a way of deepening self presence and the goodness that is in you, allowing it to unfold. And again, to allow all of you to be here. No part of you that has to be left out in the cold. Yeah. And if there's a place of tightness, tiredness, fatigue, or injury, and just breathe into that area and know that it's being tended. You might also notice some, I want to say, it comes as like a root cause, something in the something a riddle you've been trying to solve that might feel inscrutable in some way. So notice, you may notice some root cause epiphanies or intuition about your whatever the quote unquote problem may be, right? Like whether it's something in ordinary life that isn't even physical, but something you're facing, just allow the light here to touch that, to be touched by higher creation, light that isn't separate from you, but part of you, part of source, part of creation. So have a breath through the belly, and just letting yourself, if you're lying down, and I imagine, especially because we're off camera, many of you will be, and that's wonderful. Um, yeah, just let your belly soften, the hips soften, inhaling into the lower belly, if you like, and just letting the psoas soften that muscle from the low back into the groin. It's also a very psychospiritual significance with the psoas because it's so connected to how we hang on and sometimes hang on too tight with our just fears of becoming human. And I can really relate to that. So just letting there be a softness through the body. And as we know, and as we say, as the body relaxes, the mind falls open. And this may be a journey that extends for you far beyond the endocrine system and all it's related to. This may be a journey in which you find yourself coming home. So while the endocrine system is a gateway for us, it may or may not be your final destination today. And you'll know. So let this light expand through you and around you, deep within you. And we're starting just to ground down through the belly. If that feels good, you can let the energy. Oh, and the grandmothers are here. They work in my healing sessions. Okay, a word about them. Many of you may know them, but for those who are not familiar, again, they work with me in my one-on-one client sessions. They come to the webinars and the guided journeys like the one I'll be doing on the 21st. And they are may appear to you as indigenous women from many times and places on the planet. However, like many of us also, they trace their ancestry and their heritage to the stars. So there's a element of this that is very multidimensional with the grandmothers. They may appear actually as Arcturians or Syrians or various beings, tall, luminous light beings. So, speaking to our multidimensionality, but they are here surrounding us in a beautiful circle of light. I feel the dolphin beings who are, well, if it matters, 12 dimensional in nature and connect to Sirius Lemuria and also anchor some higher frequencies, sacred geometry, and energy from sacred sites on our planet. They also are about, you may feel them, and of course, this bit of dragon energy that seems to follow me everywhere. So, but don't worry about the forms. Just know that you may also be connecting to your higher self and your guides through the auspices of our journey today. And have a pause there in all my speech. Find your breath and the way the body wants to soften. And perhaps let go into the earth, the upper dimensional, higher frequency iteration of earth. Some might call it the new earth. It's letting go the rictus of kind of the creaky old structure of our habitual tendencies and kind of softening that as we soften toward ourselves, allowing pieces that have been maybe misplaced, lost, to become found within you. And you can also just have a breath through your chest and your upper body, noticing any kind of tension there through the collarbones, the shoulder blades, up through the neck, the rib cage, and the diaphragm. Our breathing can become so contracted. Yeah, like shallow breathing. So you can allow yourself, if you like, to have a fuller inhale and exhale or several, if that feels good to you. And I'm always inviting you to choose what you receive. It's always up to you. I'm a big fan of, yeah, personal choice. Milani hindi siya inkenoni lahi niatoni apos nikelonona mukuli morole moko moshe mikvo labaku lamanya zmiko kemo nilane mola yekelani kondalane shon diklandi kesho. I hear the grandmothers saying as you come together in a group, all things are made just. That is, it equilibrates something in our collective experience for being here. I know we come for us first and foremost for our personal journey, but know that there's something happening here that is relevant to the all and the totality. And just notice what's alive in your heart. See, so much of this is just becoming present with your own experience and in a container where you're being held, safety, protection, that becomes uh, easier. That's what we're facilitating here in one way. And if you like, you can notice the energy of the crown and how that wants to open further, or if it does, you might know. Oh, yeah, you might notice some incoming frequencies there that appear in your inner vision with color. Just notice that. What I'm given here on my end psychically is a lot of magenta, some pink, and some white. It's very nurturing. You may experience and be experiencing something a little different. So just let that be your experience. There's no right or wrong answer to what's happening for you on your end as you begin to rest and come into deeper contact with the parts of you that are eternal in nature. Yes, and you may also feel, again, your higher self, spiritual guides, as more present in this moment. Yeah, just notice that and what's available and alive for you. Yeah. Again, if it's right for you, well, invite your whole being, your whole sense of self, what we call as self, and to be illuminated from the inside out with a higher level light. And just notice that, what it feels like, the envelope of your skin being filled with a higher light. Something very loving, loving and gentle. You're all to be better acquainted with the aspects of your, yeah, what we would call as light. It's easy metaphorically to feel as if you've gotten off the bus at the wrong stop. You can't find your way back. Where's home? So you may feel with the opening of the crown a little bit here, and it's just gentle. We're not blasting anything open and we're not forcing anything, but you might feel as if your higher self were streaming down through in formation of light, like a vertical river of goodness being returned to you. And just explore whatever's alive in your field. No right or wrong answer to that. And let that really touch the pineal and the pituitary as your whole body is embraced by a liquid light. There might be some Lemurian frequencies for some of you coming through. And some of you might also feel the grandmother's especially present with you. And that will particularly pertain to those who have acute illness going on right now, or something you've been trying to tend to. It could be quite physical in nature, or could be spiritual, emotional, or otherwise. Just notice that. And how the face wants to soften, just notice that too. And how start with the pituitary might be quite an abstract concept for us because we've never seen inside our body with our own eyes. But we can imagine these things and know The glandular system is like looking up at the night sky. What does it have for us? So many stars, so many connections can be made there. So, if you have a sense of the pituitary gland, the master gland of the body that really connects everything to everything, your whole system is sort of united by this one little gland in the head. And just let some beautiful light fall through it. And if it's difficult, I know maybe some of you may not feel like you can visualize very well. Just know that there's some gentle, gentle light coming through. With the pituitary. Ngolobanikalu adamako hutilani kipikimiko nyamachumiko kirmakokimi. Ngolomakaro yamatomakakolmana onto. Zimikaro no mikaro only lane. Wakipakorulani utsemo. Time tolo. It's time to record these things as if they were ancient artifacts coming home. Were they buried at sea or under a pyramid? Look inside yourself. Look inside yourself. You will see. You'll see. So, and many of you may experience sudden openings of intuition, even psychic ability here, and more connection with guides as we move through our hour together today. So, have a breath through that and notice if there might be some. I hear it as the warmth of sacred geometry moving through local and non local space, connecting with the pineal and the pituitary. Just notice the the grounding principle below you. We spoke of that earlier on with the belly and the feet. The downward turning connection, that means down into the center of Earth or home star, which allows that upper glandular system to do more of its good work for us. You can also have a breath as if through the brow point and into. Again, we're working with the head and more specifically with the brain and the glandular system located there in our bodies. And there's nothing to get right here or to get wrong here. We're just noticing our interior, noticing the call and response that it's making with the wider universe and the points of creation, which you know from many, many lifetimes of embodiment here and elsewhere. Yeah. So notice if there's some, oh yeah, there's some illumination going on through the pineal. Yeah, profound white light, purifying white light. I think a lot of you would really like your systems to be more open in that direction of psychic sight. If that's so, just spend another moment there. And this feels very wed to mm, the chakra at the base of the skull. Now, as we move forward, we might find some uh, increasing connections through our traditional chakra system and the more complex chakra system that is illuminated as we ascend, expand, return to ourselves in even more multidimensional ways on the spiritual path. So you can breathe as if you're breathing through the skull and letting I just see this rotating rainbow of different colors coming through head. So just let whatever is salient and applicable to you rest within those glands in the head with ease. Nothing to really think about. There's nothing to really work at here. We're more allowing ourselves to be receptive to, in a way, what's already in us. Yeah. And letting there be a connecting point, if you like, and it feels good to you, to the back of the skull and that hollow at the base of the skull. It was spoken to me as the cup of God, that energy point in my own awakening days. Psychically, I received it that way. I'm sure it has many names. Don't trouble yourself with linear cognition around this, though. Just let your face soften. Might be a little, I feel some joy frequencies lighting up in some of you. Maybe also receiving guidance about longstanding queries in your life that have been inconclusive in their resolution. And just, I'm going to leave a gap there for you to notice what's happening and notice if any sound wants to come through as you're visiting with these upper areas of the glandular system through the pineal and the pituitary, and in a way also through that brow point, the third eye. Just notice if there's any sound. Sometimes when we do healing work, and I'm reminded of this over and over in my one-on-one sessions, there's a vibration that might want to come through or be expressed. So a lot of who we are is vibration. Remember, the subtle energy of which you are made has a frequency. And is there something that these parts of you want to express as they come more in line, or slowly shake themselves out of a bit of slumber? There's something that wants to be expressed within you, in the privacy of your own space on the other side there. Just let it come through. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to make sense. Let go of the thinking mind. Let yourself hum a little song to the pituitary, a little vibration in your own voice, calling something home, and calling something into deeper alignment. Yeah. Alava kurubrina okaki nyaratoni antalani botamakademi chumaku nyatamashmi ikoya multalam. In this way, you'll come back to a loving understanding of your own experience. Nothing will be left out. Yeah. So we're just moving very slowly and gently today. Let yourself feel the support around you, the support within you. And again, maybe having some ahas about any longstanding issues that you've been working with physically or otherwise. And down through the the blessed throat. I know from my one-on-one work over the years that our throats and the energy centers there, and we'll talk about the thyroid specifically, been a lot of interference there, right? So through conditioning and also, the targeting and weaponization of our environment and the whole hormone system. And our voices, when they get shut down, I feel it can also affect that. The delicacy, of the endocrine system is well known. And I really feel that when I'm, guiding us through today, that facet and that aspect of us is very true. Fragile and yet strong, So allow your awareness to kind of drop down through the gateway of the throat. Again, sitting in this vertical river of Amrita, the elixir like nectar, the cosmos, that area in the throat. And such an act of befriending oneself, this gesture is more powerful than we may realize. We become present for ourselves. Yeah. If there's any sound there, any sound, and particularly we're at the throat, we're at the thyroid. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Voilà. Voilà mi vocorbolino capon la manche. Ooh, I wonder if somebody's had an attachment there. I hear the words driving the demons out. So there might be, for some of you or somebody out there, like a strong attachment that's gone on through the throat, and allow the clarity and purification of white light energy, the energy from source, and the original blueprint of your creation at the moment of inception, conception, be restored to the throat, and particularly, we could say also the thyroid. And of course, as I always say, linear language will fall short to describe some of these things, so we do our best, yeah. And just giving a pause. If you have sound that wants to come through your voice, let it happen. And let that nectar of light flow down through your body, your shoulders and shoulder blades, and down through the arms, elbows, wrists, and hands. And notice if there might be a subtle thrumming of vibration through the palms, the chakras in your hands. It might be activated in your own healing as we move through our time together today. Yeah, just notice that. I see this more and more in session that people's hands are being activated to do the healing work for self healing and for others that we are quite fully resourced and capable of here right now on the planet. So, oh, yeah. I read in the comments that my sound is troubled. I hope that is no longer the case and that we're doing just fine here today. So it could be the frequencies we're all bringing. So we'll carry on. Yeah. And chanting is good if that's coming through for you. I love that. Keep going. Down through your back. Just let the river of gentle, nourishing nectar kind of flow through the area behind your heart, down through the back, and illuminating that which may be, again, obscure on the journey right now. I have a feeling a lot of you are working with complex riddles of existence and how to feels like the wedding of spiritual life with material life on the planet. I'm wondering if that's you. Somebody, many of you having that conundrum on how do I tend my spiritual practice as well as my physical, the demands of physical life within the sort of matrix structure that we have at the moment to navigate and negotiate. Yeah. And notice too the front space of the heart, and in this case, I'll invite you to notice the thymus below the collarbones, the thymus gland, which is super connected to longevity and also, more again, using the word psycho-spiritual way to our joy. Yeah, to our joy. Yeah, and just notice this is a delicate place. The energy here is very subtle. There's something very sophisticated about this gland, and I feel like it can unlock something potent for us when we work with it. So we're speaking of the physical significance of these areas of, in this case today, the endocrine system, but also again the spiritual aspects, the quantum multidimensional aspect of our whole being, our whole being. Yeah. And just have a breath and maybe bring your fingers to the area below the collarbone. Have a breath into there, that space, and you're calling and saying hello. Hello, thymus. Yes, making contact. Yeah. That could seem really abstract. You might just have a sphere of color. I see a lot of lemony yellow there today, psychically for you. Just notice that and see again, is there a sound that wants to come out of this area for you as if you're speaking to the thymus and it is maybe calling back? What sound is coming through for you? No. Li chami chamu ke amloni ata lamani ke wi, ngorani na to mi kimi, ngorodi lamani ko kema, jenji mi koronanda. And this area too, I'm hearing is also one of the places through which we can connect more fully with our star family. So, oh, just connecting some dots there myself as I'm channeling through all this. That yeah, if we are assaulted through the endocrine system, then we can be severed from our star family and our connections in that way, and helps me understand the mechanism of those that we call the dark forces more fully. Yeah. So let there be a gentle song that emits, if you like. And if there's no sound coming, that's perfectly all right. Yeah. For some of you, there will be an effulgence of something significant happening here. And just notice. Just notice what's alive for you. And as the body relaxes, the mind falls open, your consciousness expands. So thymus, we know, is super connected to the heart. And if there's anything coming up that you want to let go of in the heart space, make an offering of that. Make an offering as if you're holding it up to the sky realms, blessing it for the lessons and letting it move forward and on. letting it be transmuted for you. And that's the beautiful part. When we do these things in session and all of our guides, all of our goodness are really here for us. These processes can be very I want to say elevated, expedited. That's the word I think I'm looking for is expedited. Oh gosh. So just notice, oh, it's a spark like a flash or of like chartreuse there, this luminous green. And if there's somebody you love, let them know. Let them know that you love them. Apparently, the thymus, when we begin to activate it more fully and relate with it more completely. Um, it, the human language words are escaping me, but it's like allowing ourselves to come into deeper communion with self, spirit, and the other. So our relationships are uh, embellished. And we become no longer afraid to be who we are. So we have an authenticity piece also coming up for you guys here. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, difficult to be yourself or to feel like you. Thymus is softening through the body and letting go all the strain. You might notice the inside of your body opening up like the cosmos, illuminated with stellar space. Yeah, like you are a map of the stars. Coming home to yourself, coming home in grace. Iglana we could be going now, but then go give me wash me cake on. Yatalani go to no lana go give me cook a love down the goo. Coloni got some cook again key. Hello, say. And just letting that softness permeate through your form and down through the yeah, organs of the mid body. Have a full breath if you like. Again, letting the diaphragm expand and the heart's communications to be heard through the solar plexus. What do we have here? The pancreas, blessed pancreas. All these things are so humble, we don't even think about them. And they're working on our best behalf 24/7. We know about them when they are no longer functioning well, right? So here we go. Just have a breath. You could bring your fingertips to your solar plexus if you like, if that feels right to you. The pancreas right there in the middle. And just let there be any sound or song that wants to come through, any clarification, any vision or memory impression there. And if it's just a gentle, quiet softness that you're resting in, that's perfect. Yeah. Let yourself be illuminated from the inside out, as if the pancreas itself or its own star system connected to the whole of you, the source energy of which you are made. I love there's some letting go of sorrow in the field. Beautiful. This is a good place for that. If there's any emotional content arising for you, let it be known and heard, let it be released. And the grandmothers can help you with that and or other helpers as well as you by yourself. Beautiful. So in this space, all things can be held, seen, witnessed, and also transmuted and transformed. Oh yeah. Yeah. Wala no tamika wai no la ho timike kolani tamika shamuko gimi garadini bishimike moglani garadin shimiko kimi. So again, sound that wants to come forth from the pancreas, just letting it have its expression without judgment. This is how I'm told we connect the constellation of light within us. And this is what I meant by coherency in the title of our show today, spiritual journey for coherence, strength, and healing. an integration. And so that the communication in your biological and spiritual system is made clear. Intentionally and aligned. Just notice the breath coming through the mid body, the organs of the mid body, liver, spleen, and so on. And drop down a little bit there, the kidneys and adrenals. So many of us I know, myself included in the past, have had a lot of high cortisol, elevated levels of stress response. And if you've got a lot of trauma, maybe conventional and not so conventional trauma, can really take a hit through the adrenals and let yourself feel the mid back, the low back, and the place where the kidneys and adrenals are within your form. Not too much to think of there, but just let the little glands that sit on top of your kidneys receive some of that pink, gentle light. They feel like little babies, like they just need this tender protection. Let them be held. Quite a metaphor, like little children, the little children that we all are, eternal, galactic in nature. Oh, and we'll visit with the Indian tradition there, knowing that the adrenals also connect deeply into the second chakra and also to the reproductive glands. But let's pause there. If there is, what am I going to say next? If there's a sound that wants to come out of the adrenals or into the adrenals, something they want to express, let go of, or receive, let your voice speak to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And know that whenever we're in a specific place today in the body, these energies of healing move all through you wherever needed. You can invite that to happen. It doesn't have to be specific to the object of our attention at the moment. It is holistic, all of these energies coming through, making your whole system one, all a part of you, which is to say, part of source and creation, nothing less. And as we began too, we're back in the belly here with a stream of light coming down through the crown, really through all of you, through the heart space down through the belly and the legs, the feet into the earth. You are anchoring higher light and energy for your own life, your wellness, the coherency of meaning that you make day in and day out of your own experience. It is to say, your own wisdom is coming on board and online. It's already alive inside of you, and you are all full of it. Oh, the belly, let that egg of white light. Now, there might be a little bit of beautiful upper dimensional technology in that living light egg coming down through the belly and embracing the whole reproductive system in you. And we can focus too on the ovaries, the testes, the sexual glands. We know this has also been weaponized and under attack, under assault. So nice bit of energy we can focus here today on in that reproductive center and the glands connected there. And then you know that if you heard me speak in the last video, the Greys have always been interested in our reproductive systems. Now, of course, this isn't particularly a session about them, but just to say we know we are the owners of this complex spiritual, biological body that we have. Our energetics are potent beyond reckoning, beyond words, and a reproductive system, no matter the stage of life where we are in. You know, for example, for women my age, we're going through perimenopause, for example, I'm told over and over in sessions that, like, for example, just using that, the womb space remains really potent even if we're no longer in our, like, our reproductive years per se. it remains potent. And so is the case. We may feel ourselves like, oh, I'm older, none of this is functioning that well, or oh, but you can take back the template and those energetic systems that we are the owners of remain empowered beyond conventional logic and conventional like scientific applications from the world that we have been conditioned. So this is to kind of give us a little new perspective around what we're carrying inside of us and to elevate it to a much higher vibration. Yeah. We haven't paid attention to these things because no one has told us they're important, right? Um, the endocrine system, what the F is that? Like nobody's talking about that, but at the same time, I can see how relevant it actually is. So have a breath through the belly, reproductive organs, let them be blessed. Yes, these are yours. And if you've, I'm going to name this right off the bat. I know a lot of us have had maybe some kind of sexual abuse or something that hasn't felt comfortable to us, maybe reproductive issues over time. Notice how the light just wants to settle in and support you right there. Delicate and sophisticated, tender, and also very strong and potent. Carolyn, I'm glad what you said. Everything has been so sore today. This information helps you so much. Thank you. Yes, Kookaburra, lady. Yes, the energy center of creation. So true. And see if there's a sound. Is there a sound from the universe coming through your belly, upwelling from the earth, coming down from the cosmos? Let your sound be heard. Let your sound be heard. Let your sound be heard. We need your voice. And it could be a very small sound, or it could be a massive, quoting Walt Whitman here, the sound of your barbaric yap over the rooftops of the world. Do that if that feels good, or something in between. Doesn't have to be pretty. It has to be an expression of you and your unique relationship to creation and to your own well-being. Yeah, I love that. And I love when we do these sessions, it's like we take our power back. This is our birthright, and we have every reason to step more fully into it. And if you have been in any way kind of a victim, so to say, of the medical matrix, my heart goes out to you. Yeah. So here we begin to learn how to, and I know many of you already know, how we work with quantum energy and how we can self-heal. This is also part of that. So we're all powerful healers ourselves. We came in that way, and we're taking back our original blueprint from the moment of our creation, the moment of our conception. So a lot of talking on my end today. I'll look forward to the 21st, in which you can also join the chat and we can see you on the solstice heartlight journey. For now, letting this, I'm shown this psychically, this spiral of white light. It's like opalescent, so pure light in the belly, connected to ovaries, testes, reproductive center, and then down through the grounding principle. Some great integration happening within all of this. Yeah. Glonia voce mi qui mona leva di nie monta e poni voce pila pote mi che roba ni carnina tani la kerina once. Ja. Notice how that space of the belly may be opening up with a point of light. A bath of energy, life force energy. As you notice one by one the illumination of each gland, life force energy. As you notice one by one the illumination of each gland in your system lighting up with quantum wisdom, multidimensional goodness, spiritual wisdom. What we are doing here today is also, as I said at the beginning, calling back parts of ourselves that may have been missing. Something maybe the inspiration for life has gone flat for you. This can begin to call that home for you, as well as bringing sustenance and support to your physiology at the same time, supporting you spiritually and creatively to be who you are in this world. Um, There's three main facets that I love to tend in my work and what I bring to the world collectively and in the one-on-one sessions. And part of that is about unconditional love, authenticity, and also the expansion of consciousness, touching those facets of human potential here today. What an honor to join with you all live. Breathe through all of you, the totality, and you might feel like you're breathing through the earth, through home star systems, through the sun, and through the whole galaxy, through the cosmos. Your body becoming a constellation of stars and heavens surrounded by beings from many worlds who love you. And in this reflection, we can remember ourselves. Yolo ke wiki fona moto iku watanchi moko lepone bandi lawadi veronica paki moko kimiki mortanali glo lalali non granani kapama shomeke pi garante elevu simiti yakolanike gulina hanto galanike janonoko. Ever notice the energy of your field, your luminous field around you? I'd be feeling rather squeaky clean. Let your sound emanate into the space here with all of us, the unified field of our own creation. And I'm like even going to to Miki. We have a comment here in the field. The grandmother seemed to touch the inner child. Thank you, Kookaburra. Yeah, it's easy to feel their divine love. Thank you. Yeah, and that is true. Very, very true how you read them. They are deeply connected to our younger parts and our wounds as well as our wisdom. Yeah. So rest in this as long as it feels good to you. And as I always say in my one-on-one hours with people, the session is really just beginning. Nothing is ending here. Yeah. Nothing is ending. It's beginning. Yeah. Nothing is ending. It's beginning. Let me know how this landed in the comments. Now let us linger in the sweet spot together where, again, I will confirm that we are actually doing work for the collective right now. Notice the spheres of light, protection, grace, and radiance through your glandular system, pituitary and pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, pancreas, adrenals, ovaries, testes, and so on. Making acquaintance with the areas of ourself that are a little esoteric in nature, just as we all are. You move into the world with your own divine frequency emanating forth. And nothing stop you as you bring your love to the world. So, bowing into your journey wherever you are today, and I mean wherever you are on the path, and also wherever you are location-wise on our beautiful planet. And I've included the link below for the December 21st solstice session called Heart Light. a solstice journey. I will be broadcasting live from Interior Alaska, and I'm excited to be with you all for a much longer and in-depth session where you will also be able to bring your questions to me, and more live interaction, be able to see you if you want to be seen. And very excited that we've all been able to journey here together today. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again in the next video. The link is below. See you guys on the 21st.